Now moving on to the spoiler discussion. The bag is open. We can now talk about everything on this.
Anything and everything.
Everything
We
and
don't
everything.
have to pick apart every character, do we?
Anything and everything is now fair game. No, we're just gonna start talking about this and see where we get.
Oh god, this is one of those episodes. Okay.
You mean how we always been structuring it?
No, man, we went through every character before.
No, we went.
Shimonetta.
That's Shimonetta.
And Forward King. And
No.
Samurai Flamenco.
No.
Yeah, this is honestly. I'm a start with the end here, right off the bat. Just with the. We waited, people waited quite a while. How long was it to get that final episode?
Like a whole season of anime.
Like a whole season through. And that drop in quality at the big moment made me really sad.
Really?
Did you notice that?
No, I didn't.
During the whole scene where Leonardo is talking to Klaus as he's lying on the ground and he had his confrontation with the King of Despair. The quality of the faces, like the background art was still fine, but the character's face quality majorly dropped.
I did not notice
It was pretty rough. For me personally, I just noticed it really heavily.
I did not notice that at all. I thought that scene went really fantastic. I thought they went to a weirdly different art style, but I didn't think it was a drop in quality.
I thought it was definitely a drop in quality. It was just awkward because everything in the beginning half, and even beyond the beginning half, was really well animated. It was like they took their time with it, like they did with everything else, and then suddenly it just hit this point.
Well, the thing is, they weren't delayed.
The faces were scrunched.
They weren't delayed over production issues. They're delayed over because the episode was long.
Yeah, but I don't know.
The episode was long and they didn't have a time slot, so they had to figure out a time slot. But a time slot didn't open up until now.
Yeah, it still makes me wonder why that drop in quality happened then if they would have had time to possibly fix that, because it was pretty bad.
I did not.
It was pretty bad. Did you see it, Connor?
I don't pay attention to that shit, honestly. I just try to enjoy it while
now we're on it. How's the animation quality? That was
overall though. I'd say the animation quality is pretty good.
Yeah, I made some jokes in the first episode about, hey, this is where the quality just suddenly, like, this is where they put the budget in. But they did certainly put the budget in a lot of places.
Yeah. Well, I have to say that first original fight scene that we got at the end of the first episode was of higher quality than anything else we got later.
Yeah.
Also, it was stylized very different. Like, it was still great, and it makes sense because the show doesn't really stick with one specific style the whole way through. But that first fight scene looked really cool. I wish we could have seen a little more of that.
I don't know.
Because that would have been... it was really beautiful.
I guess I kind of forgot about the final fight scene. As I kept going, I was like, okay. I liked how the beginning, though, it starts with, how the last episode kind of starts as.
Yeah.
And I like the kind of style that way. Your comments, Connor?
Oh, what?
Animation, we're talking about...
I already said what I thought about the animation.
Yeah.
It was good, and I don't really pay attention to the animation all that much. Like, I couldn't notice any glaring errors.
But what did you like about the quality? Like, did you like it?
Yeah, it was really bright and colorful. And it was. Tell me this is a dull-looking show.
There was a lot of gray.
I mean, that was kind of the point.
Yeah.
It definitely wasn't. They always had stuff going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a city that's trapped and surrounded by fog most of the time, it's decently gray throughout.
Yeah, there's especially a lot of gray and browns and black.
But
the further they go,
so many characters that are not gray and black. You know,
this is very true.
Yeah,
everything's moving and there's always colors going on.
There's all sorts of aliens everywhere too.
And you need a dark backdrop for them to pop out.
Yeah, it accentuates the characters, which is nice.
Yeah, but what should we move on to next since we're on animation?
Well, okay, what do you guys think was the most important part of the show? Like the action, the romance, the comedy. What brought you in most?
For me, it was just the characters more than anything else. Like, not all the characters. I honestly didn't like Klaus that much. I never liked his character design very much, and then he was a bit too perfect for me. He's cool. I mean, he's cool and all, but he was a lower on the list of people that I cared for. I really liked Leonardo.
Well, Klaus is very much a straight man, and just like
Yeah, no, I understand his
That's what
character.
you're aspiring to be. And,
Yeah, I understand that, but because of what he was and his
There's
character, he
two
was
fucking episodes devoted to how cool he is.
Because he's the coolest!
the
Dude, he
whole,
played chess for 99... He played that game for 99 hours.
The concept behind that game was pretty interesting.
I want to play that game because
Infinite
there's...
chess.
Infinite chess.
Oh,
it just
dude,
keeps
did you
going.
notice how, like, even, like, balloons started popping up with, like, the chessboard pieces on it? And you're
Yeah.
like, how do you play this game? How?
Dude, it's honestly, it seems
That
like
was just a Looney Tunes thing to me, honestly. I was just like, oh, this is getting silly.
yeah. I mean, it was pretty silly, but I thought it was also pretty cool. Plus, it seemed like it was just basic battle tactics on most of the pieces. Like, it wasn't going full chess style, like this to this. It's like, okay, I'm gonna take this piece, and it's gonna be this sort of soldier, and we're gonna move it around the board. It's just
Yeah.
kind of an ever increasing battlefield.
With, like, adding more and more soldiers. And,
Yeah, and I'm assuming each has their own specific rules and stuff like that.
That episode I learned Japan also hates Russia just as much as the US.
Really?
Yeah, they had the
Oh, the Russian...
everybody.
guy.
Yeah, in Japanese shows, well, maybe not in Durarara, but
Every other country's ambassador is an evil monster.
yeah,
Oh, you know, he wanted dukes for his country.
he was
Also
trying to
kill
help
everyone
them.
in the room behind me, please.
He was incompetent.
Well, yeah.
Well, I guess it was an American styled show, so it makes sense that they would choose Russia
Russia
as the country.
As the yeah.
Country to.
But, like, I don't know, for me
Go
it made
against.
sense of, like, this is supposed to be a secret meeting. I don't want no one knowing that I got nukes. It's cool. I don't trust anyone. I'm gonna get nukes in my country.
What is the point of nukes if people don't know you have nukes?
Yeah, nukes are like
Yeah, so you can use
Are you
the
actually
nukes.
gonna launch them?
nobody launches. The
terrible
point of
idea.
nukes is so that nobody launches nukes. I mean, it's kind of
Deterrence.
silly.
I know
but-
it's deterrence. I know a lot about nuclear
They're gonna
deterrence. so-
nuke New York? I don't know. That makes them even more
Well, they
evil.
can't nuke New York. The tentacles are just gonna reach out and grab them.
Oh yeah, tentacles are gonna stop a nuke.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could. They can.
Well, I guess they couldn't stop
The
dude in the
explosion.
plane.
Well, that's only because he's super cool.
Is that?
That is super cool.
What about you, Andrew? What did you like most about?
I don't know. I think the style and the music. It was just there was so much style to this show. Where that like, again, I've been telling you guys. I've been like after I finished, I just turned on that OST and just kept listening to it. There's so much like, it's up there like. It's similar to like how Samurai Champloo, how people watch that because of like the hip hop and the stuff like that. This one is very like. I'm not saying it does it better. It does it better.
Very many people watch Samurai for the hip hop. I don't know.
I don't know. Mario watched because of the hip hop.
I mean, it's good for what it is, but I think most people watch it just because it's like a fun, funny show.
but a lot of it had a lot of hip hop influences and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like this did it like not as like an obvious scale, but like a more like again at a lower scale of it. But the style and just the kind of the noir-ish kind of nature of it, the kind of the early 19 like even though it's modern day, there was kind of like an early 1900s feel to it, and something about that just was really good. Then you hear the music and there's all this like R&B and hip hop and like
Yeah.
like really good music, and then you go into the openings and endings and both have their own style, and you end with that whole dance sequence and you just kind of have this smile on your face. It's just like so much of it was just that's what brought me in.
Yeah, it definitely had its own like super unique aesthetic throughout the whole thing. Like all the colors kind of match up pretty well. Whenever they go deeper into like the other world, they always end up adjusting for that. It was pretty cool. On the OST, as much as I love the OST by itself, there were definitely some scenes where I thought the music didn't quite fit. I liked their music choice
Yeah.
because all their music was really cool,
No,
really interesting,
I don't-
brag of stuff. But there were definitely times when the music didn't quite fit
I don't
what was
disagree with you
happening.
because like those last couple episodes end on a really emotional scene.
And then
Ending.
Yeah.
Dude,
Everyone's happy and dancing. I'm
Happy
just like,
dancing ending.
like that were like again. I love the ED because
No, they were playing the ED. You know how they did the fade out where it doesn't
Yeah.
actually start the ED yet, but you hear the ED song going?
Yeah.
They were doing that while the main villain was laughing maniacally.
That was the best. That was my that was the least.
Why?
That was the least intrusive one out of all of them because it makes sense.
It's pretty funny.
But
I enjoyed that. I'm
so-
just talking about like basic songs within the thing, like mood songs and stuff that are
Yeah.
supposed to set the mood. Sometimes they like totally chose
No, okay,
the wrong
that's-
song.
okay.
And I was like, ooh, that's
after
a little
rewatching,
grating.
like this is why I'm gonna go back to this. But episode 6, the reason why I discovered why I really liked that episode. Great music choice with that song that like they only play one song.
Yeah.
And it's that song that I've been looping like for the past couple of days, and literally it just fits everything about that episode. Where like, and it just kind of fit in for me. Where like it
That's the
starts,
perfect
it does the montage, and then at the end like he gets hit with the bat and the music just starts playing, and you're just like, no, this is out of place. And then you think about it, no, it's like, no, this is in place.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a lot of this OST where like you kind of think that it fits out of place, but then if you kind of think back on it, in my opinion, you go, no, it fits really well with the stuff going on.
I mean, it fits in the sense that everything in the show is disjointed and crazy
Yeah.
throughout the whole thing. The soundtrack is very similar. It's kind of disjointed and crazy. A lot of the songs are like completely opposite to other songs within the OST.
Yeah. I mean, I said earlier, like I said this to you earlier, that the ED, it reminded me so much of like the Death Parade opening. Like,
Where it just didn't quite fit the show.
well, okay. For that, this one fit the show a little bit more
Yeah.
than Death Parade
I'd
because
say
Death Parade,
that's definitely true.
Death Parade, like no.
It's a bit more solemn. Than
Yeah, it's a little more solemn. But this one, like, it reminded me a lot of that Death Parade opening. And when you have it, like, Death Parade opening is up there in God tier openings. And when you have an ED that's literally the same type of, like, style and stuff like that,
Yeah.
God tier ED.
That's true. The song itself was pretty great, and the just ED animation is super fun the whole
Yeah.
way through.
Well, it's the
Does
same.
a good job
It's
with
the
all
same
the
as
characters.
Death Parade. As you watch the Death Parade opening, it's all of them having fun and stuff like
Yeah.
that. They're having a party in a bar.
Yeah.
And then you go cut over to the ED of this one, and they're all dancing on a stage and like
Yeah.
having fun. They're drinking beers, talking, dancing.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Purely music-wise, I actually like the opening better than the ending. Like, I don't know exactly what it was, but the whole progression through was really nice, and then that little ending section of, like, Hello World. Yeah, it was. I really enjoyed it, and like every time I started the show and I got to that, I was like, okay, now I'm in and I'm ready to go.
They had that kind of
Perfect.
Avengers pen around.
Oh, that sweet little They have him in the center and just like
all the
do
people
the little
doing
pan
their
to
one
see
move
everyone.
over. Yeah,
it was,
I
it was
like
pretty
that.
cool.
Okay, Connor, how about you? Your turn.
For my favorite thing,
Yeah,
Um,
what brought you into this show?
honestly, the action scenes.
The action scenes were
So
really fun.
it's like a big playground. This is like, whenever they're in a fight, it's going to move somewhere else, and it's always going to be like a fun move. Like it's going to be like shit blowing up everywhere as they're moving to a new
Like again, we were
destination.
talking about this earlier during when Zed's appearance. It's like it starts in the air, it moves. The plane gets cut in half.
Yeah.
The front plane, the fuselage, keeps flying, crashes into a building. They're fighting on the building. People are falling off the building. It's just like
goes up through the building.
It's usually on something moving
Mhm.
where the fight's gonna happen. There was like the van in the first episode, or like the second episode.
Yeah,
that
the
kidnaps
van.
Leo.
Yeah.
There's the what's her name's car.
Agula?
Agula is like
the train.
Yeah, when she shows up,
Brody
she
and
has
Hammer.
that
Yeah.
big thing when she's off to
giant-ass
find
train,
Brody and
there's
Hammer.
a plane moment,
Hummer.
and then were they on a train during one of the events? They were on a train a lot, but there's not really like events.
Yeah,
yet.
I don't know if they were ever taking the train when there was a fight. I mean, the episode where we first got introduced to the, what do we call them, blood breeds,
Uh-huh.
they, like, arrived on a train to a scene in a station.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't like the boxing episode as much. That's one of the reasons.
Because the fight was always in the same
Yeah,
Also, there's
spot.
not a lot of fighting in that cheeseburger episode, which is why you didn't like that much.
No, the cheeseburger. I don't know. I didn't really feel it as much. Like I was like, oh, this is sad, and I get it.
Dude, how
But
can
it's
you
like
not...
shonen sadness.
I
Like,
don't know.
I meant for it to be sad.
Dude, I don't know. There was something about the moment where, like, he takes the bite out of the burger and he just starts crying, and I just go, yeah, The burger.
You're a sucker for symbolism, so.
No, but it's not about the symbolism. It was just like, I just had the, yeah. Yeah, we had this discussion too.
The
You're
burger set. Yeah, I enjoyed the burger episode. I wouldn't say it's my favorite episode. But
Okay, what is your
enjoyed
favorite?
it. My favorite episode? Oh, God.
Well, okay, I can't say the burger one's my favorite because another one trumped that, like, right after, like, a couple episodes.
Which one?
Well, you say yours first.
I'm still thinking about this.
My favorite one is the one where it's them trying to eat lunch.
Oh, that one
Again,
was
moving
really
around.
good.
It's like it's all visual stuff.
Yeah, and they continuously go to different places to go eat lunch.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's not working to the
They
point.
can't find
Like,
somewhere. They're trying to haze the new guy. Or at least Zap is.
My favorite part is where they go to the family restaurant and then, like, literally double murder suicide in the restaurant in front of them.
And it's like, oh, okay. things are pretty rough down here.
The gang's about to show up, so we're making soup with their parts. You want some?
Yeah. My favorite episode, actually, I think, was the one where they first introduce Dog Hummer. And where Aguila's going around in her, like, car thing, moving around with the big... Just trying to eat them when they're on the
yeah, again,
scooter.
Connor moving around. And
The moving parts of the fights are fun. Plus, I enjoyed her whole exchange with Leo. Like,
Leo?
he's there the entire time, just chilling with her while he's waiting for people to come save him because he can't do much. And she's just, like, constantly talking to him about his love life. It was really fun.
She found the perfect man personally wise, and then the perfect man looks wise, and then put them together.
Mashed one's blood up and stuck it into the other guy.
And then both of them just don't care about her now.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, if there was like a satisfying conclusion with White, I would like the movie theater episode the best.
The one where
it's the episode that we're talking about right now.
That's the same episode?
It's the same episode.
I think that's the end of that episode,
Yeah,
when
because
he takes her on the scooter.
Like, yeah, that would have been my favorite episode.
Because he goes to the hospital again. Because this show is literally...
Just that moment was amazing. I don't know.
Yeah, that little ending point was really good there. Where they go and the little scoot closer. Like, it didn't have to be...
But, like, that's what I like, where literally the story is about Leo somehow ending back in the hospital. Like, that's every story. It ends with him somehow ending back in the hospital.
So he can chill with White for a little bit.
But what would be my favorite? Honestly, the second episode was, like, just for the little blood trail thing was pretty great.
Yeah, where he ignites it and then they have Chain just run after it.
But I would also say my favorite episode would be the one when Zed comes in.
That was a pretty fun one.
The part 2 where,
Was that part 2 when he showed up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, I like that episode because he finds a really hot chick at the KFC and it just keeps going to the KFC.
Okay, that has to be one of my favorite. The way they did showing that he was turned on in that episode had to be one of my favorites. Where they flash the thermal image and it's just got that big old red spot. It was perfect. Like, there's lots of ways that they show arousal and stuff. Like, they could have done a nosebleed, they could have done this, but it was just a perfect, like, quick flash.
Well, it's because, like, it was such a stylish moment for Zap, because it's just like, boom, kill the egg, let's go.
Hella cool, and then you get the picture, and it's amazing.
Yeah. He grabs the phone, it's like, yeah, she was calling, like, some information number the whole time.
So, here's the white elephant in the room. You have a bunch of...
The white elephant in the room?
Is that what it's called?
No, it's the elephant.
A white elephant.
Racist fuck.
Okay, let me
a white elephant's a gift exchange. Like when you put a bunch of gifts down.
Okay, let me rephrase that. The pink elephant in the room. Please, Connor. I know you have the biggest pink elephant.
How did White die? I don't get it.
I mean, as far as I can tell, what happened is when when her parents had just, like, died or moved on or whatever they had to do to help seal the thing and create... I think their job was to help create a barrier.
Yeah,
to keep the collapse...
Yes. They're one of the 13 casters brought in
from within inside here. And then something happened to White, and around that time, they decided to make the center for the barrier...
Her heart.
With it, her heart.
So that she could survive.
So that she would survive through that.
But they never explained what happened
and then,
to her.
What happened was afterwards, again, she gets separated from Black. She gets separated from Black, and then Black knows about the barrier, so he chooses to make himself the vessel for
Well, he just
the
didn't
King
want
of
to get
Despair.
hurt.
No, he part of the story is because he brought in he knew about the barrier, and he didn't want the King of Despair to be under control of the barrier. So he also took in King of Despair. It's kind of multiple reasons.
Yeah, 1 to protect his sister, 2 to protect the barrier, and 3 so they can parallel White with Leo.
Yeah.
So I have 2 more problems with that. A, they never explain how she even got hurt, and it doesn't tie into the story at all.
Well, it's because all the 4 of them, they went into the city during the time of the collapse.
No, they leave her. They usually leave her when they go on missions.
No, but
she's
then,
powerless.
For this one, they brought because since also Black went in, White didn't want to leave. Like I think
Did they
White.
explain this?
Well, it's because White and Black are always together, and so they brought them both along for that.
This wasn't explained.
Wasn't
That's just
explained.
like inferring
Yeah.
from stuff that we know. So they don't actually tell you what happened. You're just supposed to assume. That's kind of what the show does the whole time through, though. I mean, it doesn't necessarily excuse it.
Yeah,
but
it doesn't even explain
it's
like
not
what
as-
the MC was looking for from the beginning.
In the beginning, wasn't he looking for like a way to cure his sister? Like that's
No,
why
his sister's gone,
No,
His sister's not dead.
isn't she?
No, she's on the outside.
dude, there's a
In the-
whole part. The
yeah.
last scene is Leo.
She's dead. It's metaphorical.
No, it's not metaphorical,
I
dude.
swear to God, that's what I thought it
No,
was.
she's-
That's why I couldn't write the damn letter.
No, he didn't know what to say.
His sister
What
and
even
his
happened
mom
to
and
her
his
then?
dad.
Okay, no. Here, let me explain this. Okay, this is what happened. They got to the part. Then Leo. Then she decided to lose something, so Leo would get the eyes. She loses her eyesight. She also can't walk. Then she leaves, and the parents take her home. Leo goes to New
She
York.
loses her eyesight?
Yeah.
No, you're missing something here. The original reason that they were next to New York, or what is now
Halcyon Lot, is
Helsing's
because
Lot.
the parents thought that if they brought her to
Yeah.
Halcyon Lot,
We
that
know
she
that.
would be able to walk
They
again.
tell you that, though.
And
yeah,
then
they tell you that.
during the exchange, she loses her eyesight, and Leo gets the eyes of the god.
They're basically okay.
I thought he
Here
lost
are the-
his sister.
No,
They're
he
like,
gets-
here's the eyes of the god. One of you is gonna have to lose your. There's a price for this. One of you's gonna have to lose your eyesight, and the other one's gonna get the eyes of the
I
god.
thought he just said who will
Who's
have
it
the
gonna be?
vision. Is all
I mean, it said who they had the vision, and then they had the whole thing of both of us knew that one of us is gonna lose their vision. They didn't specifically say the vision,
So yeah,
but she definitely wasn't dead. It's just
yeah,
he's mad that she went from being she was already crippled.
and she went from more crippled.
Yeah,
went
she
from crippled to
became more
crippled.
disabled
Yeah.
at that point because she lost her eyesight.
That's why there's a cut at the end where she's holding the letter that Leo wrote her, and she opens her eyes and there's nothing there. It's just void. It's because she lost her eyesight from the exchange.
Yeah, it was their representation of, you know how sometimes for blind characters they give them really glazed over eyes?
Yeah.
When they showed her with the sparkly eyes
it was
or
the
whatever.
void.
I thought it was still meaning that she was like a spirit. Oh, never mind.
No, I'm pretty sure she's not dead.
She's not dead. And the reason why Leo came there in the first place was to find something that, he could, help her with.
Status alive.
Status alive.
Dude, I hate
You know what?
that.
I guess I just inferred too much into it. Whatever.
I hate
Yeah.
this, because you know why? I got super spoiled on this show, because because I went to go look up, because everyone's talking the differences between the anime and manga, and said, oh, White's the biggest difference. So I click on White's Wikia link, and I scroll down, see status deceased, and it was right after the episode where she's like, oh, I'm a ghost. So I was like, okay, keep
She's totally
scrolling down. Totally didn't think about it, and then I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. She's an anime-only character, and then I kept watching, and then they're like, no, she's alive. She's actually not a ghost, and I went, fuck, I just spoiled myself.
Yep.
Well, okay. That brings me to the other thing that I felt was unexplained. You know how she has they just said her core it's what's holding her together.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But that her physical body is there the whole time.
Because because she's still physically there up until the moment at the end where Black shoots her in the chest, and then that's
So
when
is
she
she-
actually dies.
Is
Because
she laying in the church dead then?
basically,
Okay, I thought her
But-
body dissolved or something when she
No,
died or something.
but basically her spirit is still there, being the house of the barrier. But because
her spirit's attached to the barrier.
but she's still because of her distress over Black being still part of the King
so
of
there's
Despair.
just a corpse laying in the church, isn't there?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That makes sense to me.
And
I thought like she like fizzled and then she came back because she was like a spirit and she was supposed to be the barrier or some shit like that.
No.
Okay.
And then because Black is like still part of the Kingdom of Despair, the barrier is being kind of fuzzy as well as the point that Black messed up everything, or Kingdom of Despair messed up everything. So then when Black is finally separated from the Kingdom of Despair, she turns to the spirit and then moves on to become the barrier, and sacrifices her soul to become the barrier.
So that the second coming of the collapse can be stopped yet again. As happened with her parents.
Yeah.
All I wanted to know was where the body went. You didn't have to explain everything else.
Oh. Well, we did.
Yeah, we did. Well, now everyone who didn't make sense of this anime now knows.
No, they're just gonna be like, look at this fucking idiot.
Yeah, exactly.
That was your point all along to do this to me. Okay.
Of course. No, I'm kidding. Of course not.
Just wanted to make Connor look bad.
Also, elephant in the room. Why the fuck is Fent even here?
Dude,
Fent is one of the 13 like kings or something. I don't remember what they called them, but I think he's more of a main villain in the manga.
Less so in this.
I
feel like he's more of a. I don't know if he's an overarching villain actually, because at the very end of this, in that last little scene they gave you, I'm pretty sure that was the King of Despair in a new body, right?
Yeah, that is. That was
when he's like walking away,
Yeah.
whistling. Like that was the point of that.
That was a King's Despair new
Setting
body.
it up for a
But it
second
was
season
like-
that we probably won't get.
You mean we probably might get season 2 win?
Yeah.
Dude, like I want just a second season of just them expanding on all the side characters that they introduce. Like, I want more on Brody and Hammer. I want more on KK. I want more on Steven. I want more on Abrams. I want that moment at the end where like Leo's running and it's that moment where every one of the characters is helping Leo get to the tower. But the way that Abrams helps Leo get to the tower is that he has such bad luck. A meteor storm just comes in and crashes and kills everything.
The greatest worst luck.
Yeah, like, I mean, okay, who was your favorite out of all the side characters?
All the side characters? I mean, my favorite was Is White considered a side character?
No.
No? Okay. Never mind. Probably... Honestly, I'm not sure on this one.
Like,
because Leonardo was my favorite. Sometimes MCs aren't my favorite characters, but in this, he definitely was.
Yeah, I mean, Leo's great. But...
Yeah. I enjoyed his antics with Zap quite a bit, too. Zap I just like, not as much for Zap, but for,
the moment
his like, interactions with people.
Like, the moment where Zap just constantly steals the pizza.
Okay, that entire scene, the way it was animated, the way it was portrayed and everything, that's what most made me connect this to Fooly Cooly. Like, that whole section could have been straight out of Fooly Cooly. Like, that's the faces Zap was making was, like, the same sort of faces that Haruka makes in that. It could have been straight out of that.
I love that moment where it's just constantly Zap coming in and then,
stealing his pizza.
Yeah.
Plus the little ending moment where it was, like, you wanted me to think that's the reason you were here the whole time,
No,
right?
he just actually wanted pizza.
He's like, screw you. That's not it.
I like, again, Brody and Hammer are great.
Yeah.
Zed is
Brody
also...
and Hammer.
Zed is also really great.
Zed was pretty fun.
I like Steven. He was kind of...
Steven?
I like the moment, like, I like the relationship between Steven and KK because it was just like, why are we constantly
together?
Yeah. It's like every other episode they're like teaming up and it's just like, why?
Yeah. I think Steven had the most, like, badass composure out of all of them. Like, just he walks in and things start turning to ice. It looks pretty cool.
Well, it's like every one of them are kind of their own style. Like, that's what's highlights in like that first couple minutes in the opening is you get Klaus's like punching style. You get Zap's swordsman style. Chain just constantly disappearing and reappearing and just ending up places. KK being the assassin.
Does Chain use blood?
I think
stuff.
I think so. Did
she ever use a style? Like, yeah, she was a werewolf.
I don't think she uses blood.
Okay. Because Zap and Zed both use the Big Dipper style.
But they're both different elements. Where Zap is
fire, and Zed is wind.
Yeah, Zed is wind. And then Steven and KK, Steven is ice, KK is lightning.
Do you remember what style they use? Because Claus uses Brain Grid,
It's blood. I think his is mainly blood style.
No, they all use blood style, but
Oh.
his is brain grid.
Oh yeah.
And then Zap and Zed both used the Big Dipper style because their master was
Yeah.
that strange body.
I don't know. I didn't pay
Okay.
attention too much for it. Like.
Yeah, I forget what Steven and KK's were, but
Well, yeah, but you know.
and if Dog Hummer even had one.
He
Well-
uses Venom style.
Yeah.
He just goes like full exosuit. with
Yeah, and
his blood.
everyone has their own like specialized fighting style, which I really liked. Where it's like everyone's kind of different.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Sonic. I mean,
Sonic's fun, I guess.
Let's take a picture of Leo crying his eyes out.
Yeah, I know.
Look how badass Leo looks at the end after he beat the bad guy.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Just
Dude, speaking of pictures, I really liked it at the end, like the pictures they did at the credit scene.
Oh,
It was
in
like
that
Black
last
and
one?
MC just like going, what's up?
Yeah, just hanging out together. They
His
had the
sister just died.
yeah.
well,
It's like let's
because
be
they were
happy for a
hugging
bit.
over the mutual like loss of White,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then like Black just piecing out, going somewhere else in the world, and then like
Oh, he was probably going with the summoners.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then it ends
The
with
cast.
Or
like,
casters.
Yeah.
God damn it. I'm stuck. That stupid anime you made us watch.
hey, it's great.
Anti-Magic Academy.
Hey, dude,
I'm
it's
a summoner and an alchemist and,
And
a
a
necromancer.
necromancer.
all in one.
But I'm gonna summon a robot.
No, it's not a robot. It's
And
actually
his name.
It's basically a robot, dude. It's like practically.
His name is King Arthur, and he has a railgun named Excalibur.
dude. Play a Final Fantasy game. That's all I can say.
Stupid as shit.
But yeah, I mean, let's see. Anything about like? Okay, you talked about your elephant in the room stories. Anything else about the plot?
Do you want to just gush on the burger episode for a bit, Andrew?
No, I'm asking you guys again. That's I love the burger episode, but there's other great ones.
Yeah, I mean, I already talked about my favorite. Things. The ending. The very ending.
Uh
Besides the drop in animation style.
huh.
Besides my problem with that, I really like the way they wrapped it all up, and I like a lot of what they did in that final episode. But some of those lead-up episodes to the final episodes, I don't think were quite as strong as they could have been. I can't quite nail down what it was,
I thought White Time was kind of cliche.
but something. I think it would have been
I think it would have been more
weird if she didn't die.
Yeah.
It would have been an awkwardly
No,
happy ending.
Because the reason why they did that is like, okay, maybe let's open up for season 2 with King of Despair walking on the streets, and then Black piecing out and White dying. There you go. All the anime-only characters are gone.
So we're good to go.
We're good to go. Yeah.
You really think that season 2 would follow the manga?
No. Okay. So here's the thing. Now let's talk about the season 2 discussion. I know anime doesn't take the chances of ever getting season 2 are very low. Very
Yeah.
low. Unless you're always on Seki.
Dude, I wouldn't care if they kept all the anime characters in season 2. That'd be great.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, they're still kind of it would be hard to do it.
Yeah, I bet you somehow, if they do a second season, there will be more White in there, as, like, he's gonna, like, talk to the barrier somehow. It's not gonna happen a lot. It's not gonna be, like, a main plot point. But I feel like as ridiculous as the show
I feel
I
is,
feel
it
like
could
you would
happen.
want that.
You would want
I kind of want that.
See, here's the thing. I would
but-
want that too, but then I thought
I
about it and I
doubt it
don't
would
want
happen.
that.
What?
See, the thing is, there's a lot of manga. Like again, the manga is basically day-to-day life, so it's just you have a lot of content that's right there that you could just write for the picking. You take the content and then you just kind of add an overarching story to it. Bones
Yeah.
has done it before. They did it with this season. They did it with Full Metal. They did it with Soul Eater.
Yep.
Take the source material and kind of twist it a little bit.
Except they didn't do a good job in Soul Eater, but that's a
And you could debate over Full Metal. I say better, but whatever.
yeah, that's a discussion for another time.
They could have done the better ending, though. I mean, it was the last Airbender thing.
Huh?
You know how the girlfriend turns into the moon? It was basically that
That's
shit.
rough, buddy.
That's
it was
rough.
that
buddy.
shit all over again.
For Kekkai Sensen?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dude, so that means Leo's gonna get a new girl.
Or, Leo
And-
doesn't get a girl. Just
And then she'll die too.
Yeah, maybe Leo
I mean-
will just get with Diner Girl.
It's a surprise she hasn't died yet.
Dude, I think the whole point's that she should be dead, and she
has
just
all
isn't.
the plot armor.
no, like I like that ending where one of the pictures is just her like,
Just waving this broken frying pan,
how
like,
are
hey
you
guys.
still alive? How? But like I
Who
like
knows?
yeah. Oh man, I like that part in the what's it called, the lunch episode where literally it's just like her sitting there, like I mean them sitting there and they're like, wow, Leo, you have friends now. Congrats.
And he's like, yeah, it's pretty nice, even though
Even though
Zap's like
Wait a
hardly
minute. Sorry. I'm really sorry for me. Was playing punch a pun?
plain punch. In Dog Hummers.
No, okay, no, he hit the thing. Never mind.
Yeah.
He hit the car. I was just thinking the plane episode.
Oh, the plane episode. Plane punch. Does he use what punch does he use on that one?
I don't
can't remember. He
Probably-
uses some punch. Oh, but he uses Exo Crimson. Steven uses Blood Freeze style.
Yeah, blood freeze.
And then KK uses Blood
Are we
Bullet
back to
Art.
this?
Yeah. Okay.
And then Claus is Brain Grid, and yeah.
So they all have their own thing.
Is that what you're clicking on the wiki pages?
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
Going back to the style here, I like that just kind of. There's something about that style where, like, the style that I liked where, like, the second episode's like, I'm a part of Libra now. There's Libra members everywhere. Then it just goes and just points out every member on
It's
the
like,
street. It's like, yeah, like, when I saw that scene, that's when I knew I would really like this show. It was just like, that's, like, the first episode was great, and then when I saw that scene, it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the moment they're walking around with the little portraits still on them and still moving around, I was like, yeah, there's something about this.
Yeah, there's something nice. It's fun to watch something every once in a while that just you can just go with. Like, whatever it does is gonna be fun, and you don't need to question it because it's good.
Yeah, I mean, there's no really themes and messages in this one. The animation's amazing. Music's awesome. Characters. Oh, yeah. So, again, sidecast. Like, how is every, like...
The whole side cast is pretty fun.
I don't think there was a, like... I could probably rewatch, probably argue differently, but I don't think there was a bad character in this show. I mean, you don't like Klaus as much as...
Yeah, I don't like Klaus that much, and Abrams is okay. KK's okay.
I don't know, I love
But
Abrams' shtick.
I like Shane, Zap, Steven, Dog, Zed.
I feel like Gilbert doesn't really.
Gilbert just doesn't do much. I don't
He's the
know.
butler. He's the butler.
He very much is the...
But why does he have bandages on his... No.
Dude, we're never gonna learn why he has bandages on his face.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed. I wanted to read the manga after this, and then I was like, oh wait, like that's...
And almost none of it's translated.
Yeah, well, apparently some of it is, I don't know, but like, I think it was the bits about like, the episodic nature of it and stuff like that. I was like, maybe.
I think it was more there was just characters we didn't really get to know enough about.
I feel like
Yeah.
they're, like, again, maybe in the manga, they maybe are a little bit expanded on, because, again, I would love to see a second season just so I could see more about these side
Yeah,
characters.
I feel like
Yeah.
anyone who thought like Patrick or his assistant was like their favorite character would be really, really disappointed with the anime.
Like,
Yeah.
if they had more on Patrick and the assistant in the manga.
Yeah, like
Like,
I'm sure they do.
the reason why you don't remember is I'm thinking about it too. They only appear like twice.
Yeah,
They
I didn't
appeared-
even remember these characters existed.
They remembered they were there in the third episode when the vampire
When they were talking about, oh, I saw a vampire.
they saw a
Yeah.
vampire. They were talking to those two, and then they only showed up at the end with they're in the Jeep with JJ in the back, with JJ with the best luck.
Yeah. Our friend.
I love
Not
that.
JJ.
Huh? Not JJ.
Blitz.
Abrams.
You think of a different Abrams. Oh, good job.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, I would want to see more of like Fempt and Aguila, because
Yeah.
I really was
Them working together would be a fun...
because I really like those guys as
Fun
characters,
movie.
but they didn't show up as much.
Do shit.
Yeah,
Well, they did do stuff. They did do stuff. There was
They got their own respective episode, and that was it.
Yeah, they each got one episode, and then it kind of dropped it there. And then they just kind of chilled with the King of Despair for a
I
while.
like your turn next.
yeah. But besides that, any last minute thoughts?
Besides the fact that I had a lot of fun with this show, and it's been a while since I've had quite so much fun to this extent. No, not really.
I had a lot of fun with this too, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I remember you talking. He's like, "Wow, this is a really disjointed, convoluted."
This
story."
is like what you get when you let them just fuck with your manga, and it's a good enough studio to do it.
Yeah. But in a good way. In a good way. because they do good. Bones does good work. They do good work.
Yeah. Most of the time.
Okay, for this one, my last minute thoughts on this. I was telling you about this the other day, and now I'm gonna say it. Probably when I was finishing up this anime, like 11, 12,
Yeah.
I was thinking like I'm really enjoying this. Like I really love this. Like 9 out of 10. Like this is like 9 out of 10 in my book. Like so great. Like close to 10 out of 10. Like I want more of the side characters. Give me more of the side characters. You boost that up to 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
And then I sat there and I go, well, my top 10 is way too solid right now.
Yeah.
I can't move anything. Like, what can I do? Like I can't say I have so many favorite animes. Like, I don't want to, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And then I thought about it. I'm like, wait, let me think about this. 9 out of 10 of my favorite animes are all over 15 episodes.
Yeah.
And I felt that was an issue where we've had this discussion before. I don't think that I now come to this, like, I'm now on your board here. You can't tell as great of a story in 12 episodes as a 25 can.
Yeah.
Well,
it works sometimes.
Yeah.
I think
but
you
it's
can
very
if you have way
rare.
less characters than this.
That's true. This has a lot of characters. Things with...
Well, like, the thing is, Bakuno is, like, 16. So that's why that's why the 15 is
Yeah, yeah, a shit ton of characters in Bakuno too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But each one had their time to shine within each one.
Bakuno is one of the best super short.
Yeah.
I don't think this even told that much of a story. There was a lot of
it
episodes
really
that just
didn't.
filled in time.
But
It was just like, hey, here's this really cool world, and we're just gonna
have fun with it.
have fun with it and show you as much as we can in the shortest time we've been
but
given.
I was thinking about that is there's so you could do so much more with 25 than when you could do with 12. And a lot of 12s kind of get a little bit hampered on the, like a little they get hurt by the length sometimes where I kind of I want more and stuff like that.
I mean, you're pretty much always gonna want more with a 12 episode.
Well, there's some where
unless
I feel
it's like Death Parade,
that's what I said,
where it has a concrete ending.
There's animes like Death Parade, Rampo, where literally I am fine with how they ended. I like the way it ended. I like how it got to that conclusion. Wraps up really nicely. And those told really great stories. But again, probably not on the same level as anything over 15 episodes.
Yeah.
And so I decided that I'm going to just split it now. I have my own list for top animes with over 15 episodes.
And a list for under
15 episodes. And let me just tell you, that was a lot harder than I actually thought it would be. Because I split it, and then I went, let's see. Okay, cool, I have 9 out of the 10 anime just filled in. Great. Looked at the top, less than 15 anime, I was like, well, I have Death Parade, Kekkai Sensen.
It's a much shorter list. I made a list similarly.
What am I going to do with that other 8 spots? And so I just
15.
filled in spots until I see better anime than that.
Yeah, that's the problem. I couldn't even get a full 10 of 12 episode, or 15, under 15 episodes that I thought all deserved to be in some sort of top 10 or another when I was trying to do that recently. I got a solid 7.
Well, I just filled
8.
in 10 spots of stuff that I watched recently. I really like these and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I put Rampo. I didn't put Rampo in my top 10 originally.
Bebop. No, just kidding. Oh wait, how long is Bebop?
Bebop's
25.
25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I discovered it was
There's
a lot.
not a lot of really good stuff that's under that if you don't count movies and OVAs.
Dude, I found it was a lot harder because I was like, oh, Origaru, wait a second, that's 24.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
exactly, because I feel like it's
24.
not fair to count first seasons or second seasons or something. It needs to be a standalone.
That's why the thing is, if Kekkai Sensen got another season, I'd put that up there in the over 15 spot, and that it would be competing with the strength of that.
Honestly, I'd put the 2 JoJos, the first JoJo anime. I'd split that into 2. Honestly, that seems like 2 different animes to me.
Even though they're sold as one.
Yeah.
Takes up, just put it in there and it takes up 2 slots.
I don't know.
But
I don't even like the first part as much. I don't know.
That's honest. I think that's the reason why I haven't watched JoJo yet.
Is
I don't want to watch that first part.
It's not as bad though.
Just skip the first part.
I watched the first episode and I couldn't do it.
Okay, let's save this for the tangent hour.
Yeah. Let's talk about this in a bit.
Grades, Andrew.
Huh?
Andrew, grade.
9.5 out of 10.
Jesus. I'm gonna go with a safe 8 for now.
Yeah, I'm a solid 8 on this one too.
Again,
think.
I loved so much about this anime that I was surprised sitting there going, "This is amazing." It made me split my top 10 list into 2 separate lists.
Yeah.
And that's how powerful this was. I was like, man, this is great.
I mean, this does what it does well, and I enjoyed it more than working it a bit more. But there was just these errors or not really errors. There's just things I didn't like that kind of irked me the wrong way. Just the whole white thing.
Oh, okay.
And basically anything including white, I just didn't like. I liked her at the beginning, but the way they handle her at the end, I was like, eh.
Oh,
It was
I like
kind of
that
a bullshit ending, just to get the whole Avatar Moon thing, and I was.
She wasn't handled quite as delicately towards the end as she could have been. Not like her, not that in a way as in.
She was murdered.
Yeah, I don't mean it within the story, within the actual story. I mean it as the people writing her didn't put quite as much time into her story as it seemed like in personality than they had previously, I think. But
yeah, I don't know. For me, there was I felt something with this one that I was like 9.5.
Yeah,
is a solid spot. Not quite 10, meaning I'm dropping on a normal Mal list, dropping it down to a 9. It's not a 10.
Yeah.
Give me more of those side characters. Flesh them out more.
And it could be.
It could be solid 10 for me. 10 out of 10. Just give me the same amount of music. Give me the style. Give me the noirish. I'll love this.
Yeah, the second season would be fun.